Welcome to our Financial Independent Dividend Income Update for September 2021. As you now know, we're planning on reaching financial independence in 2024, which is not that far away. Part of the way we're doing that is through dividend income. So stick around, we'll let you know what September 21 had in store for us.
Yeah, what a year. It's been amazing. It's been so exciting sharing our journey to financial independence with you. Our journey started back in 2019 with some debts that we had. As we record this video in October 2021, we are gonna share with you today our passive income for the last month, for the month of September. If you are new here, hi, my name is Jean.
I'm Christine.
We are a Canadian couple living in Toronto, and this is the channel that we have been sharing our journey to financial independence. As Christine has mentioned before, our goal is to achieve FIRE in 2024. We are not far away. We are 2021, just over 2 years and a half,
crazy.
3 years, crazy. Lot of work to do. We still have to work. We still need to make money. We still need to save money and invest our money.
Yeah.
Everything that we do, it does involve dividends as part of our strategy. However, we also have ETFs and international exposure with real estate.
Yes,
right?
that's true.
Anything you want to say? No? I'll keep talking. So here's how it's gonna work. We are gonna share with you the companies and ETFs, you name it, for everything that we have received dividends from on this past month. When you think about our asset allocation, we have our asset allocation divided in, let's say, 3 areas, 3 buckets. The first one is Canadian exposure. We also have exposure to the US and the global market, so everything else, right?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and we've done a little bit of switching over the past few months in and out of some of our positions. So it's fluctuated our passive income over the past few months, but I think we've finally settled on what we're looking for within all of our different accounts. So now it's just a matter of building up those positions and hopefully building up that passive income that comes along with it.
Yeah, and hey, it's part of the journey. We keep learning as we go. We've made quite a few, I should not say mistakes. What is the word?
Learning moments.
Opportunities.
Learning moments.
Yes, learning moments, learning opportunities to improve the things that we have made in the past.
Yeah.
No mistakes. I am not allowed to say mistakes.
No.
So keep that in mind. We keep improving our strategy, but so far it's been working for us.
Yeah.
And stick around until the end of this video because we're gonna share with you the year to date that we have. And since we started tracking our dividend, when was it? Oh God, August. Let me look at my numbers here. 1 second. Which month?
September 2020.
September 2020. Even though we started investing in June of 2020, the dividends started coming in, and being deposited on our account in September. So we are gonna compare year over year. So stick around to the end of this video, and then we can see the changes that we've had. Enough talking. Let's start discussing with you our Canadian exposure.
So the first company here in Canada that we received dividends from in September was Manulife. Manulife falls into our financial sector of the portfolio. Yeah. We received in September $273.84. We still only own 978 shares. I don't think we increased that position at all. Year to date from Manulife, we have received $804.72 in dividend income.
Yeah, awesome. We also received dividends from Enbridge. Enbridge is a company that we have been investing since last year. It's part of the energy sector within Canada. We received 480 cents this past month. As of today, we have 480 shares, and year to date in dividends, 1,000, just around over 1,200 in dividends from Enbridge.
Right. Next one is Canadian Utilities, and as the name suggests, it falls into the utilities sector of our portfolio. We received $281.90 from Canadian Utilities. We own 641 shares, and year to date, we have received $845.73.
switching a little bit. Instead of having dividends from individual companies, we now have a REIT, which is RioCan. So RioCan is a REIT that we have in our portfolio. It falls under, of course, the real estate. We received $23.12. It is a monthly distribution, so every month we receive distributions from RioCan. So up to date we have 289 shares, and we have received $185.72.
Yeah, and if you remember in last month's video, we spoke about how we were changing our REIT positioning, I guess, in the one TFSA, and we actually sold out of, was it VRE?
VRE, yeah.
So we sold all of VRE, put it into RioCan. So that's why RioCan's gone up this month. And going forward, it will consistently start to pay out, and we're going to try to begin adding more and more to RioCan within Géant's TFSA as well.
By the way, if you have not watched the previous videos, I'm going to link up here a playlist since the beginning of 2021, January 2021, when we started this channel. You can see the monthly, income update. However, if you go back to our blog that I'm gonna list down below, you can see our, dividends since July or September. September 2021.
Yeah.
So September 2020. I'm sorry. So September 2020, you can see that.
Yeah. So the next one that we're going to talk about is VEE.TO. This one is the emerging market ETF that we hold. This one's within my TFSA actually.
Yeah.
It's an international portion of our exposure, and we received $25.46 this quarter from VEE. We own 86 shares, and so year to date we've received $40.12. This is another one that we continue to increase little by little each month. We buy a few more shares of that one.
Yeah, so it falls under the global market exposure, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Last but not least, we also have ITOT. So ITOT is an ETF that tracks the S&P 500, which is the total US market. We have received $151.37. As of this past month, we have 413 shares. And year to date, we have received $370.07. Just for the sake of making things easier, we are not doing the conversion between US and Canadian, so we are just using Canadian as our base.
Yeah. So those are the positions that we received dividends and distributions from this past month of September, and that gives us a total for the month of September of $1,156.50.
Yep.
Not too bad.
No. Yes and no. I wish we would have received more, but it's just initially we were so focused in getting numbers, and we're getting big numbers for the dividend. But one of the things that I never thought it was the price that we have to pay. When I mean price, it's getting high dividend yield in stocks, which it was kind of unsustainable. I'm gonna link up here another video that kind of change our minds, in having, instead of having higher payments, which is of course good, but at the same time it was not gonna be consistent, right?
Yeah, I think that we still had some time to grow our portfolio. So some of the investments that we had been holding that were paying out a little bit more on a monthly basis, they weren't appreciating, they weren't gaining the capital appreciation that we were also hoping for.
Yeah.
And that's what we're looking for up front within our portfolio. Yes, the dividends are great and we keep reinvesting those. But until we reach until we reach that point where we're going to retire and actually use the dividends that we're starting to see come in, we want to also see as much growth and appreciation within our portfolio as possible. And I think where we had invested a larger chunk of that money, we weren't seeing a lot of that growth, right? It was kind of just paying out money, and we didn't need that at the time. We also need that growth aspect.
And don't blame yourself. It's part of the journey. We are gonna have improvements, not mistakes along the way, and we keep learning as we go, right? So let's now talk about how much we have received. So let's discuss our breakdown.
Yeah, so from our Canadian positions alone, year to date, we have received $10,055. Well, basically $10,055. We don't have to say the cent.
No.
Which actually works out to about 79% of the dividend or distribution income that we've received from our portfolio is coming from our Canadian positions.
Yes. We know it's quite high. We are working in, changing a little bit and increasing the other positions. That's why Christine was talking about the global exposure, international, not Canada and USA. When we look at the amount that we received from our USA exposure up to date is just over 2,300, which does represent 18% of our dividend so far.
Yeah, and last but not least is that global exposure. We've received $247 from that this year, which is only about 1.97%. But like we mentioned earlier, we're growing that, and it's just going to continue to become larger and larger as we go along.
Yeah. Year to date?
Year to date, we have received $12,608.07.
Which does represent 32% of our goal. So our goal is to achieve FI by 2024 with $40,000 in dividends. I don't think that you're going to reach that number. Fingers crossed, if you think that you are able to, share in the comments below. But we'll see that.
We'll see.
Well, maybe we can win the lottery, but we don't play. I don't know
what
is going to happen.
Play the lottery.
No,
weird.
No.
Yeah.
But it's okay. So if you have made up to this point, thank you very much. If you like this video, please don't forget to give us a thumbs up and consider subscribing, as every month we share our dividend income. It's not only that, we also share our net worth updates, our side hustle. So everything that you can think about it that it's related to our financial independence, we have been sharing on this channel, right? Thank you. We are very grateful to have you with us today.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, interesting facts. Now we've got to the point where we can consider year over year. The first time that we have received dividends, there was back on September 2020. 1 year after September 2021, what are some of the changes that happened in our portfolio?
Yeah, so back to that international exposure. In September of 2020, we received actually $0 from VEE. We had almost nothing in VEE in September of 2020. Last quarter, we received $10.62, and then this quarter, we received $25.46. So we've continued to grow that position like we spoke about, and in fact, we've increased that 58% over June of 2021. So actually, where that money is coming from is one of the ways we've cut costs in our household is we canceled our cable.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So every month, usually every 2 weeks, because I get paid every 2 weeks. So every 2 weeks, I will take $100 from my check, put it into my TFSA. And so basically every month we're putting $200 into VEE. And that's what that is. Yeah. We're paying, instead of a cable bill, we're building that portfolio. So I just transferred the payment from the cable to VEE.
VEE. And that's how we are increasing. It's still slow, right? So we know that we have to increase, but at least it's in our radar. That's why it's so important for you to track every single thing that you have. Your budget, your investments, because it's going to give you a big favor, because we can now compare. In the beginning, it's kind of difficult because you always think, oh my God, I'm just starting now. There's nothing to compare with, which is okay. 1 year after, we are happily here. Not easy. I'm not saying that it's easy, but we can basically compare, right? Year over year. Second one is RioCan, which is the only REIT that we have up to date in our portfolio. As Christine did mention before, we had a RioCan, and we also had another one, which is an ETF, VRE. We decided to get rid of VRE, even though it was like a small position. So we sold that. We transferred the money over to RioCan, and we bought more stocks with RioCan. And last month, since this is a monthly distribution, we had received $19.20. This month, we have received, as you know, $23.12, which does represent 17% increase.
Yeah, and I think it's even an increase. I think we were getting like $2 and something from VRE as distributions. So it's even more like it's a greater increase. It's more beneficial to have our money all in our RioCan than it was to have it split between the two.
Keep improving.
Yeah, there's always changes.
Yes.
The next one is ITOT. So this is one that we contribute to within a spousal RRSP that we have. So generally once a year we put our money in, we transfer it over to the US and we buy ITOT. ITOT tracks the entire market, the US market. And so it's interesting because in June of 2021, we received $95.
Yeah.
In September of 2021, without having added one more, well, we dripped one share basically.
Yeah.
So without really having added much to that position, we were able to see $151 come into our account this year or this month, which is a 36% increase. That's strictly the market growth, right? So they'll pay out based on the growth of the market. Now, that being said, the actual appreciation of that ETF within the RSP has also grown quite well over the past 3 to 4 months. So that's where we're looking towards for the ETFs in our RSPs.
Yeah. As a result, here are some of the things that we can compare last year with this year. The first one is the increase in our international and US exposure. As you know, we have received, 7-9% of our income, it's coming from Canadian dividends. We know it's quite a lot. I mean, we are not complaining about the money, but at the same time, we have to focus also on the other two assets, which is the US and also international, right?
Yeah, and the reason our Canadian exposure is so large is because we have a specific account that we've spoken about before where we're investing the equity. That needs to, for tax reasons, really, needs to stay in Canadian exposure. So we do have a large amount of Canadian exposure.
Speaking of that, we are talking about the Smith maneuver. I'm going to link up here a playlist where you can see what is the Smith maneuver and how we are using. We basically use the equity of our home to buy stocks and, it's been working so far. Yeah,
and you may have noticed over the past few videos, it doesn't seem like we've increased a lot of our Canadian positions by much, and that that the dividend income seems to be the same quarter to quarter, and that's quite true because we've been focusing on building one more position within that portfolio, and that's Power Corp. And we're almost to the point where we're going to start reinvesting into some of those other positions again. So you're going to start to see the dividends changing month to month for some of those as well.
Yeah. What do you think about our strategy? Are there any good Canadian companies that you do consider? We are thinking about, I'm going to, use my French, Alimentation.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
The thing is, it's a lower dividend yield, right? But at the same time, there's a lot of growth, there's a lot of opportunities. We have not pulled the trigger yet, but we are getting to a point, if not this year, maybe next year. But other than the Alimentation, are there any other companies that you think that we should invest on in our Canadian exposure?
Yeah, let us know in the comments down below. And I hope everything's going well with you guys. This is our video for this week, and we'll see you next week.
Yeah, and speaking of seeing you next week, can I say hi and thank you? Yeah. Thank you. This time it's going to go to Marcus, our good buddy in the US. He is the debt-free dad. Go check out his channel. Marcus is amazing. We really like and have a good time watching your videos. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for your support. And we're going to see you guys there. Hopefully before 2024.
That's right. See you later.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.
Okay, so should we record and say thanks again? Or no, take the picture like the...
Oh yeah, we gotta do.
Yeah. What is the picture that you want to do?
I don't know.
I don't know. Okay.
I don't know.
I don't know either. That's fine.
No, we gotta look not stupid.
Yeah. Even though we have started investing,
Even though we started investing in June of 2020.
Yeah. Don't blame yourself if you make mistakes. It's part of the journey. We keep making mistakes, but...
No, they're learning opportunities.
That's what I'm saying.
Not mistakes.
Okay.